we can smell the salt air, but what about the mood? What's it smell like?
Well, the mood is not good here this morning, Eamon. People are very fearful for their livelihoods.
Kilkeel in Northern Ireland is where we'll be heading to in just a couple of minutes or so after we speak to the Secretary of State, the Shadow Secretary of State for Scotland. That's Andrew Bowie. Andrew, fishing village, Kilkeel, and it's something you could be in Scotland. It looks the same, the landscape and everything's very same, as are the problems faced by those fishermen we're going to be talking to today. How worried are you about what you're hearing today? A 12-year deal has been agreed on fishing access to the EU in UK waters.
It's incredibly disturbing, Eamon. Good morning. And you're absolutely right. Those fishing communities in Northern Ireland, you could very much or very well be standing in an equivalent village in Scotland. In Aberdeenshire, where I come from, you have Fraserburgh and Peterhead, the two largest fishing ports in the United Kingdom. And Peterhead, indeed, the largest white fishing port in the UK. And if it is indeed the case that they have been sold out again, simply to get a good headline or generate positive news for the government in their relations with the EU, then I think they will have every right in the world to feel angry and let down by the government. What they were seeking was a return to annual negotiations with the EU, which, by the way, is what every other country that negotiates fishing access with the EU has, and indeed a limit from 0 to 12 miles, which is the exclusive UK economic area, for British boats to fish in British waters. I don't think that's too much to ask. So the question is whether or not, once again, the UK's fishing industry has been sold out by the UK government. And I'm afraid, on the face of it this morning, it looks like that is the case, which is deeply disappointing.
Just been speaking to Jonathan Reynolds, the business secretary, who says this is a good deal for Britain. He says it's a good deal for farmers in terms of getting goods now into the EU and slashing some of that red tape. And he says there's still more to come. And in recent days, we've seen deals with India, with the US, and now the EU. What do you say to all of that?
So he would say that, wouldn't he? It's his job to talk up the deal that he himself negotiated. The fact of the matter is we don't know the detail, but everything we're hearing suggests that it isn't a good deal. We will have had to have capitulated, given in on some of the demands that the EU had. We don't know what they were at this stage. And if it is the case, as you yourself just said a second ago, that for the sake of getting through Schiphol Airport 10 minutes faster than you would have done should that otherwise have been the case, I'm not sure that what we'll have agreed to will have been conducive to being in Britain's best interest. The fact is that we left the EU because people were fed up with being a rule taker, with rules being set in Brussels over which we had very little input. If it is the case today that we're going to be in complete alignment with the UK when it comes to agriculture and food standards and lose the freedom to do our own thing as determined by politicians elected in this country, then the situation will be even worse than the one we voted to leave back in 2016.
But Shadow Secretary, we had the Business Secretary on just 5-10 minutes ago here on the programme, and he described this deal that has been achieved as an 8 out of 10.
This video is sponsored by Saily. Saily is a brand new eSIM service app. What it does is get you a local SIM card that you can use when you're travelling, so you don't have to pay those crazy roaming fees just to send a text back home. They've got eSIM plans in over 160 countries and 8 regions, so pretty much wherever you're going, they'll be able to make sure you're connected. So how does it work? Well, all you've got to do is hit our link in the description to download the app. It will work on iOS or Android. Buy a plan. You can choose the best time frame for you, and then just install the eSIM on your phone. When you land at your holiday destination, you can activate your plan instantly. Saily eSIMs only ever have to be installed once, so when you go on your next trip, you just buy a plan for a new country, turn that eSIM back on, and just like that, you could be watching the GB News YouTube channel. You can be connected anywhere you go, and you don't have to deal with patchy Wi-Fi in your hotels. So get sorted for your next trip by downloading Saily using the link in the description below, and if you use our code NEWS at checkout, you'll get an exclusive 15% discount on us.
Well, we haven't seen the deal yet, and as I said, he will be talking it up. It's his job to talk up a deal that he himself negotiated on behalf of the government. When I see it, we'll obviously give our own judgment as to whether or not it is a good deal for Britain, but everything we're hearing thus far suggests that it is not. And let's not forget, and how could we forget, given we all lived through it, that the EU are very tough and skillful negotiators, and they will have gotten something out of this deal. So we'll just have to wait till later on today to see exactly what that is.
OK, Andrew Bowie, good to see you this morning. Thank you for your thoughts and your time.
Thank you. And have your say, of course, get in touch with us. We're now going to cross to Kilkeelis, the southeastern part of Northern Ireland. Dougie Beattie there for us this morning. And I can smell the salt air, Dougie. So we can smell the salt air, but what about the mood? What's it smell like?
Well, the mood is not good here this morning, Eamon. People are very fearful for their livelihoods and are already concerned over current quotas that are put in place by the EU. And of course, Northern Ireland has to obey the EU quotas and tariffs as they come in, and we're in for a rough ride. But joining me now is Diane Forsyth, the DUP MLA for this area, and Trevor McKee, the head of the Northern Ireland Fisheries Commission. Trevor, I'll come to you first. What does this deal mean?
Waking up to this deal this morning, it's a serious situation where Keir Starmer has given access, unlimited access apparently, to French and Spanish vessels into UK waters, where we're standing here now, not 4 mile away from European waters, between the 6 and 12 mile limit, where boats in Northern Ireland who historically fished there all their lives are not allowed to go since Brexit. Now, we've been looking for a reciprocal deal from the Republic of Ireland to get access to those waters, and it hasn't been given. Keir Starmer's caved in again, as all previous UK governments have done to Europe, without a doubt.
Diane, what does this mean for your constituents? And tell us a little bit about industries that are here in the harbour.
Yeah, and we're just learning more detail about this as we're standing here with you today, and it's incredibly concerning for towns here like Kilkeel that are built around the fishing industry. Right around us you'll see there are engineering firms, there's manufacturing, food produce, there's cafes, there's shops, there's an entire community built around the fishing industry here in Kilkeel, so this will be wide reaching, the impact.
And as a politician, what can you do?
Well, I'll certainly be speaking up for the fishing industry. Once again, we're seeing Keir Starmer take these decisions and not thinking what it means for real businesses, for real lives. We saw it with the farmers, we saw it in our small and medium businesses and the fishing industry today. So I'll be speaking up alongside party colleagues for the fishing industry.
Well, there you go, Eamon. And of course, I will be watching the agricultural side of this deal, because it very much confuses me how Britain were able to do deals with India and America, and their goods will not be checked. Of course they will have to be checked, because those goods do not meet European standards. And don't forget the Mercosur deal that allows 180,000 tonnes tariff-free Brazilian beef to come into the EU. Will Britain have to be part of that, hurting our farming industry once again?
Yeah, an active area. Thank you very much indeed, Dougie. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Dougie.
And it's interesting to see, MLAs like Diane Forsyth there, and knowing how hard they work fighting for the interests of farmers and fishermen and whatever. And this is the big fear from people today. Who is representing these people?